madam, bhago. So I turned around and there were 3 bears standing behind us.
I think that makes you the first singer in the universe
Who's run from a bear?
who had bears chasing her.
So for me, I learned English music first. When I started doing this, I think at that time Bollywood was also exploring new sound, more Western sounding singers, doing Hindi and doing mainstream Bollywood. Now, of course, it's changed.
What are the dreams that you still look forward to?
I still want to sing on a majorly bigger stage than what I'm doing right now.
So I think you are really a role model for all the women out there.
I don't. It's my way of connecting with the universe. Everyone has their own ways of doing things and connect. Like for example, you are bringing life into this world. That's your way of connecting with the universe.
हर हेल्थ टॉक्स के एक और एपिसोड में आप सबका बहुत स्वागत है। बदतमीज़ दिल, सुबह होने न दे, ओ गुजरिया, ये और इसके जैसे बहुत सारे पार्टी एंथम्स जिन्होंने गाए हैं, वो शेफाली अल्वारेज राशिद आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है। इंडिया की कोई भी पार्टी उनके गानों के बिना पूरी नहीं हो सकती। हम सब ने उनके गाने एंजॉय किए हैं, मगर मैं जिस शेफाली को जानती हूँ वो एक बॉलीवुड सिंगर से कहीं ज़्यादा है। शेफाली एक ऐसी शख्सियत है जो एक जीवन में 5-6 लाइफ्स जीती हैं, और उनसे मैं कैसे मिली ये तो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी है, मगर मैं उनसे फिर से कैसे मिली ये उससे भी ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग है। आप सब जानते हैं कि ट्रेनिंग के लिए मैं अक्सर सुबह वन विहार भोपाल में दौड़ने जाती हूँ। शेफाली को सब जानते हैं, वो जनरली 8-10 किलोमीटर रोज़ सुबह सुबह वॉक करती हैं अपना म्यूज़िक सुनते हुए। अचानक वो देख के मेरे पास आई दौड़ते हुए और उन्होंने कहा कि डॉक्टर थैंक यू सो मच, आपने बहुत साल पहले मेरे बेबी को बचाया था। वो कहानी क्या थी, यहीं से हम आज के पॉडकास्ट की शुरुआत करते हैं।
You're going to make me howl now.
नहीं।
रो के फूट के। Yeah, that was something, है ना?
कौन सा साल था?
2015.
जी।
This was 2015 and I was about 3 months pregnant at that time. और मैं रेनी पानी में थी, जंगल में, at one of our lodges, and I mean I started bleeding and I rushed to you and somehow you just kept her inside me. Oh my God.
आई रिमेंबर दैट डे 2015 में मैं बंसल हॉस्पिटल में थी।
Yeah, it was
रेनी
Bansal
पानी
Hospital.
उस समय 4-4.5 घंटे लगते
Yeah,
थे वहाँ से अस्पताल आने में। और शेफाली उस दिन भी ब्लैक कलर में थी। शी वाज कंप्लीटली पैनिक्ड,
Yeah.
ब्लीडिंग,
Yeah.
and when I later came to know that you actually were planning to go for a concert to Bombay, I was shocked, क्योंकि हम ये सोचते हैं कि बॉलीवुड में कोई इतना स्टार सिंगर अगर है तो वो मुंबई में ही रहता होगा। सो इट टुक मी सम टाइम टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ऐसा कोई कैसे कर सकता है। फिर मुझे पता चला कि आप जहाँ आपका रिसोर्ट है वहाँ पे तो नेटवर्क भी नहीं है, और शायद अभी तक नहीं था।
Yeah, recently we've got it अभी कुछ
तो
महीने
ये
पहले।
कैसे हुआ? हाउ डिड such a you had such a successful career, belting out hits after hits, आपने कैसे डिसीजन ले लिया कि भोपाल में शादी करनी है और शादी करके भोपाल में ही रहना है और अंदर जंगल में चले
और
जाना है?
दूर। I still don't know how that happened. I mean, I guess I fell in love. And love makes you do crazy things. But yeah, I kind of moved when my career was at its peak. I got married and moved to Bhopal. और फिर भोपाल में तो नहीं, Ali was running रेनी पानी, तो for 9 months हम वहाँ रहते थे, and it was very difficult initially. Like my manager told me, what's wrong with you? Nobody else in the industry would do something like this, Ki leave the city. Chalo, leave the city. Go to another city where there's network. Here you are in the jungle where, calling you is like a nightmare. He had to send emails, or we had to stand on a hill and download WhatsApp messages. So it was tough. Even while I was traveling for shows, वहाँ से 3 घंटा to the airport in Bhopal. Just coordination was a nightmare. Then Bhopal flights was another situation. At that time, the connectivity was just, I think, Bombay and Delhi.
That's it.
So if I had a show in Calcutta, I would fly to Bombay first, spend a night in my parents' home, here with the band fly to Cal. Then the journey on the way back was the same, and then I had to drive 3 hours to the
And
jungle.
the road situation.
The road situation was terrible about 14 years ago in on that. Now it's a fantastic highway. I drive myself, I reach in 2 hours. But at that time, it was hell.
And I think it was one of the सबसे शुरुआती resorts थे मढ़ई में उस समय शायद कोई
No, I
hardly
think
कोई resorts
there
थे
was
उस time.
one or two resorts. I think Foresight and Rainy Pani, even Denwa
बाद
came
में.
up later. But yeah, these were the two resorts there, the two jungle lodges there.
So take me back to that year, maybe 2014.
Yeah, 14 I got married. So and 15 Alize appeared.
So now here you are in Bollywood, you know, one of the most wanted singers at that time. और जब ऐसा होता है तो आपके आसपास के लोग जो आपके मतलब सेम एज के होते हैं या आपके सो कॉल्ड कंपेटिटर्स होते हैं या आपके जो फ्रेंड्स होते हैं, हाउ डिड दे रिएक्ट व्हेन यू सेड दैट आई एम गेटिंग मैरिड एंड आई एम मूविंग बैक बैग इन बैगेज?
They all thought I was crazy. Matlab, everyone thought I was crazy to make a move like this, But I guess at some point you choose your life and what you really want to do over maybe your career at some point. You have to give importance to yourself also. And like money and fame is not everything. It is a part of life and I've enjoyed it and I still continue to enjoy it. But you got to at some point take time off for yourself also. And I think that was my journey.
Did people say that, you know, that's the end of
Yeah, I've been told like the most ridiculous things. Been told many mean things also. I guess after you have kids, you take time off. You have to watch your kids grow. You can't just have a child and then like let them grow up on their own. Then there's no point in having kids. You have to be with them, assist them in their growth. I mean, you're their mother after all. So I took time off and then I got back to it. But
Did you never have second thoughts, you know, ऐसा कभी तो
of
हुआ
course,
होगा.
I've had second thoughts. I have second thoughts even like
Now?
even now. My kids are like taller than me now, but everybody has second thoughts. Yeah, it's human nature. We are all. I'm not any superhuman. Ki I've just like flown through life. It's a tough journey, but you gotta do it.
But the striking thing about you is that, you know, you took a decision which probably
I don't think anyone
nobody in
else
their
would
right
take.
minds would have at that time.
I'm a bit cuckoo. But I'm happy that I took that decision because I live now in a city that is so different from Bombay, but it's so beautiful. It's like the heart of our country in MP. The forests, the jungle, the nature. To bring up children in a place like this is fantastic. I grew up in Bombay, and the things that my children are able to do still and have their youth, they're riding horses every day in the farm or at the academy. They are going and seeing, like my daughter has seen a leopard and a tiger from her father's goad outside our house in the jungle. I've run from bears. I've cycled past mating leopards. No one has these experiences. I mean, I'm lucky and privileged and grateful that I've been able to have these experiences. So if I didn't take that decision of leaving Bombay, I wouldn't be able to enjoy this also other part
At
of
least
life.
the mating leopards part. वो तो
और
possible
क्या?
है. But do you think, you know, an artist, it's a very different life. Artists are wired differently from the
Very
rest of
different,
us.
yeah.
So I think they also constantly need something to nourish themselves, because when you're on stage, when you're performing, you're actually emptying yourself.
Yeah, you
Whatever is
are.
inside you, you're just giving it out to the others.
Yeah, you nailed that.
So you also probably need to fill your cup.
So that's why I don't feel the need to have that many people around me. You see, that decision to go into the jungle and be in the, like if I do a show and you meet so many people on the travel, your band, the audience, you're giving your energy to so many people that when you go back home, I don't like when I'm in Rainy Pani or when I'm in Bori, I don't feel कि oh लोगों की कमी है. Yeah, I'm lonely or I mean, yeah, sometimes I do get lonely also. But you don't feel like you need that chill down time on your own. Even now, like I also paint. So, but I can only paint when my kids are not at home. Because if there's like noise or there's like action or then I can't, my brain just shuts off. So I think it's an artsy thing. I mean, I don't know. As an artist, you need your own space.
And also, I think, many artists are like shooting stars, they're all over the place and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Because I think, as an artist, you also constantly have to get that inspiration or get that, how should I put it?
Yeah, it's inspiration. It's also like you have to get your own soul sustenance in a way.
Yeah,
कि if you're
yeah.
just bhag dod hamesha, then you're not gonna be like able to take that time off and nourish your own soul. For that, you need time alone. That's the only
Do
thing that
you
will.
do you think that is the reason why you have had a career which is, year after year, there always has been some song which is like, you tell your name and you tell that song and people are like, oh, she's the
Yeah.
Tu Mera Hero girl, oh, she's the Badtameez Dil girl, oh, she's the Oh Gujariya girl.
Yeah.
So I think this consistency, it probably comes from that conscious decision that you took, that I have to fill my cup, and that's where that magic in your voice or in your songs, which just differentiates you from the rest of them, all of them.
Yeah, I feel like I was lucky enough to grow up in a family where my dad is also a singer. He's a jazz singer. So for me, I learned English music first. So when I started doing this, I think at that time Bollywood was also exploring new sound, more Western sounding singers, doing Hindi and doing mainstream Bollywood. So it was very open then. Now, of course, it's changed. There are loads of things, new things happening. There are loads of new singers. Also, there's a lot of Western music influence. There's rap, like what
Yeah.
what happened in Dhurandhar, which is really amazing. Like that was crossover for me. Finally, there's like music that I've enjoyed listening to. It's Punjabi, it's rap, it's Western, it's like soul, all sorts of things happening simultaneously. So I think that's what I've also thrived on, and I just want to keep doing this for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Shivali, what were you like in 2011? Here we are talking in 2026. What were you like when that Desi Boys song came out?
I was pretty wild at that time. I was a wild hippie child. I think a lot of partying, a lot of, always out, lot of Goa parties, spending time in Himachal. I used to like do shows and then run off on my own for like 2-3 months. My parents were ready to tie me down at home. So I think I started singing at such a young age that when you start earning your own money from a young age, you're like, you can do anything
Anything
now,
that you want.
So I did anything.
What was some of the anything that you
Some
can
of the
tell on
anything. Oh
camera?
my God. My father will have a heart attack if I say it on camera. No, but I was a hippie child. I was a bit tough to contain in a room. I was always out and on the move, and quite crazy. But somehow life just did its trick on
And
me.
does it strike you that you were probably the most unlikely girl to wed into a family of Nawabs
Completely.
and then have a baby at the right time, and not one
Completely.
but two babies, and give up your career for some time and stay in a jungle
Yeah, totally. I mean, that I agree. I don't know.
and
Like,
being
but
chased by bears
I
in
have a
a forest?
husband who, he also just fell in love, and
How did the two of you meet for
we
the
met
first
at
time?
we met at this club in Bombay called Blue Frog, where I met him through his cousin sister, who was a very good friend of mine. She lived in Bombay, and that's how we met at this club. And from the day I met him, I knew I wanted to marry him. He took his own sweet time to figure it out, but for me, it was like an instant thing. When I saw Ali at the club, I was like, "This is the guy I want to marry." after having a couple of boyfriends along the way. But yeah, Ali just, I just knew he took some time.
So the
But
tattoo came first or the yes
the
came
tattoo
first?
came first.
What does it say?
No, this is his name. It's in English, but it looks like it's in Arabic. But this is his name. The tattoo came before we got engaged, also. So I really put pressure on him. Ki now I have your name on
अब
my hand.
tattoo
You
हो गया.
bloody marry me right now. No, no, it wasn't anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I think it took maybe his family also to accept someone who's so different from the regular norms of society. And but Ali is also a wild child, and he also has his own mind. And we decided to get married, and we did. And we have two beautiful children, and we're doing good, and we're growing together as individuals, and it's. I'm happy.
Lot of fun. So, music as we, at my age, I've lived half my life and it's changing so fast. Abhi wo India's Got Latent, where there was a song which got viral and it was created by AI.
Yeah.
You never imagined when I was growing up ki ek sitar player Rishabh, he is able to enthrall and have a sold out show in a
Concert.
stadium
Yeah, yeah.
and a sitar concert. Who would have heard of it? So
That was a very niche thing before, like Indian classical and
Baithak
wo
music.
Baithak music and very small audiences, and but now it's, and this guy is all over the world, I think.
Absolutely.
So music is changing, and I'm not so happy about this AI situation. Because I mean, at some point you're not going to be able to tell one from the other, and that's a bit scary.
As a doctor, it's every day for us. So, earlier we used to memorize that this is the percentage of people who have this or that. Now the patient will tell us that this is the percentage of people who are likely to have this. And we
Yeah,
are
because
like,
everything
okay.
is at a tip of your fingers. There's so much information available that it's very difficult to not difficult. It's actually become easier, but I don't know how good that is.
How I look at it is that human beings have always adapted, and I think the core of both, whether it is medicine or whether it is music, it's that individual who brings something special. See, the notations are the same,
Yeah,
the melodies are the same. You could read it off, but how you render it,
render it. I
or
suppose so.
the patients are the same, but how you interpret that. So
Yeah.
I think that's never going to go, but it may add a little bit of ease to us, or it may show us those aspects which we never
Which
thought
we
of,
never
whether it was
thought
a
of.
melody or it was a
Yeah,
patient.
yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
Something which, as a gynec, I find very interesting about your life. I have women who are at the peak of their careers. It's not easy to make it big in a career like yours. And you want to make the most of it when the thing lasts, because it's
Yeah.
Friday to Friday.
Yeah.
And there are new people coming in every minute.
Yeah.
So you want to prolong that fame that you got from a song or from a good hit or a good movie. But at the peak, you chose that, I want parenthood not over this but along this.
Yeah. How and why?
Yeah.
Even I don't know. No, but I've always wanted to grow with my kids. So I chose to have children young. Actually, we didn't plan having Alize when we did. She just happened. And now it's just nature's way of saying this is the time for your child to appear. So that happened, and then I grew as a mother, and I grew as a vocalist also, because when she was 3 months old, I started because I had her first. She has traveled with me on shows from the time she was 3 months with the nanny. I used to feed her. I used to go to the show, or I'd pump milk and leave it in the bottle with the nanny in the hotel room and go gig and come back, and then she'd fly off with me. But because of having one kid at that time, it was easier. When I had the second one, then there was no way in hell I could travel with both the kids and two nannies, and that was out of the. So that's when I decided to take a bit of a breather from work and watch my children grow. Like
But if you look at your songs, it never feels like that you were ever on a break. So, do you really now look back and feel happy that you did what you did at that time?
yeah, in a way, I'm happy that I chose what I chose because I wouldn't be in this situation right now if I didn't have my kids. Yeah, I mean, I've grown as a human being. When when any woman becomes a mother, something changes inside you. You start seeing the softer things in life. You start different emotions come out in you. I think you evolve as a human being when you become a mother, and I think there are people who choose not to, and that's of course their choice, but it's like life. You're bringing life into this world, and you know what I'm saying because you're in it for so many people. You helped me through it, so it changes your world, I think.
How did it change you as an artist?
Ooh, there were sometimes that like I just didn't want to leave the kids and go to the show. But then I realized that for myself, I need that also. In the middle, I got lost. I used to feel कि मैं कौन हूँ? I was this singer and everybody knew me at that time. And now I'm just this cow feeding these kids. You go through like many, many different emotions when you're in between career and mom, and it's like juggling, and then like thoughts, and you put on weight. The industry that you're in, everyone is like this perfect size zero type. It's a stereotype thing, but at the end of the day, your talent cuts through. If you're talented, you are able to like still carve your own niche wherever you go. um, with the kids, for me it was, I still think sometimes, I mean, everyone second guesses themselves, and you're only human, but I feel like I made the right choices at the right time.
So as a gynec, I see so many women, around your age who made those choices, and now their lives are only about getting that pregnancy, getting those two lines,
Yeah.
and day after day they've everything that they ever wished for. And it's very difficult as a doctor to tell them that as a woman you really can't defeat biology.
Yeah, you can't. I
Your
mean,
age catches up.
it does catch up. I mean, you hear about people who are having kids in their 40s but it's difficult. Like I'm in my early 40s right now, and I don't know whether it's like pre-menopause, this perimenopause, or what it is, but I'm also like going through my own crazy shit right now. There's like feeling really hot all the time, or like weird hormonal shift, or anger, or like sometimes even brain fog. And I'm forgetting things in the middle of a conversation. I forget what I want to say next, or I'm walking into the room, I want to call someone on the phone, and then 2 minutes later, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of.
But the nice thing is that at least we are talking about it.
Yes.
I mean, even 5 years ago,
No one was
even
talking
even a
about
doctor
this.
would hesitate to say that I'm in my perimenopause, or
Yeah,
I'm feeling
yeah,
hot, or I
yeah,
feel a flush coming
yeah,
on.
yeah.
But now we are very chill, and at least we
And now I'm
get
trying to educate my husband also, because there are days where I'm like going nuts, but they don't understand it. And because nobody really talked about this before, not many people do understand it. And like my mom-in-law also, she says that she never went through this, but I saw my mom going through this, the feeling hot, the anger, the like different bizarre things happening to her, the sudden aches and pains. Man, you've been like flexible all your life, suddenly you have a hip pain, or you wake up in the morning and your knee is hurting, and you're
It's
like,
actually called arthropathy of menopause, and they just discovered it 1 year ago.
are you serious?
And I'm like, oh my God,
There's a
we've been
term to
having
it.
women who have frozen shoulder
Yeah.
and joint issues which suddenly crop up in their late 40s
Yeah,
and
it's
50s.
bizarre, all these things.
But that's what the medical science also probably has a lot of catching up to do with women.
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, you don't really focus on it till it's in your face.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it's at least it's good that people have started talking about it, and more women are getting aware of these things. So then there's like good nutrition and
Yeah.
things that assist you going through this, you know.
One thing which I find very fascinating as a gynec, I see parents and then I see their kids. And it's so strange that you don't just pass on your genes to your kids. It's also your passions, things that you love. So how did your parents, what they were, made you what you are?
That's quite crazy. So, my father's a singer. He's a jazz singer, and so music came to me naturally through him. I have a younger sister, and even she used to sing beautifully. She quit singing, and she has taken a completely different turn in life. But both of us got musically inclined, and my mom, uh, she didn't take up art as her career, but she painted, and I paint as a hobby. I mean, I don't know, maybe at some point I might have an exhibition, I don't know. But I paint, and that also like de-stresses me a lot. So every day I've, and I go through these phases of painting. Like I hadn't painted for 2 3 years, and now suddenly I'm painting every day, and I've done like 10 new canvases. But it's like I go through these phases with the painting. But my artsy things I
Are
got
from your
from one of
parents.
my parents, like the singing from my dad and the art from my mom. Now my kids, both of them sing, and they sing really well, but they both don't. I've been trying to make them learn music, and they just are into riding horses like their father, and they are into wildlife like their
Like their
father,
grandfathers.
and their grandfather, and their forefathers, and the
Absolutely. So they
begums
used to
before
have the
that.
biggest stud farm
Yeah.
in the country or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. My father-in-law and his brother, they
Yeah.
used to breed horses for the races, and so yeah, my daughter is like a horse. She has a tick also like a horse. She's, but yeah, they've got they. It comes from both,
So when
something or
you
the
got
other.
married into this family, the Nawab family,
Oh God.
and now they are big time into hospitality, and
Yeah.
they are a family who has an impact on every person in the city. So you can see I'm wearing one of
Yeah,
the
that's
creations.
what I asked you. Are you wearing? That's my mother-in-law's clothing line.
Right. And you every day coffee from Bhopal baking, and you spend your weekends at the retreat. So
Yeah,
it's a family whose work has touched every life in a different way in this generation.
I'm grateful to be part of this family, and grateful to grow it also. With with my husband, he's so in tune with nature, and from how the family was before, I guess like many generations ago, uh, all the royal families in India, they were shooting tigers
Yeah,
or
yeah.
hunting, but then slowly, slowly they changed their thoughts, and then you went into conservation. So now everything is about conserving these wild animals that are so you need them for your
Yeah.
I mean, they're part of life, You can't have a tiger go extinct. So, how everything changed and how you're giving back to nature now, it's quite something. And I've watched them grow in the last 10, 12 years. We are growing in the lodges. The lodges are increasing. We are opening another hotel in Mandu. So you're doing something more for the culture of MP. Like Mandu doesn't have too many
Yeah.
hotels. Now they've slowly opened up that angle. So we're putting up something there. Januma is always like reinventing itself. The retreat was my father-in-law's dream project before he passed away, and unfortunately he didn't see it start, but he was there till like the very last, just before it started, I think. And but yeah, it's grown the city in a way, and now there's so many more hotels that have come in, and life is my husband and me were just talking about this yesterday. How everything is like growing. Even Bhopal as a city from 10 years ago, now it's extended onto even Hoshangabad Road is
Yeah.
actually now mainstream Bhopal. It's not just
Right.
still Arera or like stuck that side. It's all expanding, and I've seen Bombay grow like that, and now I'm seeing Bhopal also slowly grow like that.
And the unique thing about the Jahanuma group is that there are these assembly line hotels. So every city you go to the hotel, it's the same because
Yeah,
it's run by
yeah,
a chain.
yeah, yeah.
But the small things, how the person on the front desk knows you by name,
Yeah.
or they know your favorite dish,
Yeah, it's very
or how
personalized
it's very
service.
very personalized, and it's like nothing like a cookie cutter at all.
Thank God. Because even when we travel, we want to go to places that are not cookie cutter, because with my work, I've stayed in
Yeah,
all the five-star hotels.
yeah.
But when Ali and me travel or when we go with the kids anywhere on a holiday, we look for smaller, quainter, boutique type hotels where it's personalized service. Like you get the kids get their own card with their names written on it,
Yeah.
and that's a memory they take back. Oh, they knew my name. It's like something that they remember. Ki we went there, and they know us there, and you're welcomed in a certain way. And so I think that you learn also while traveling so much from different places, and I think you bring back home whatever stays with you.
And also, it's that individual's personality. I always feel that any organization is the founder in concrete
Yes.
or in brick. So, just like in IVF, you have this chainification business. So, there's no doctor anymore. You go to a center and they say that it's like Subway or it's like McDonald's. So, you get the same
Yeah.
type of treatment
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But how can that be? Because all of us are so different.
Different. Yeah.
So, how can it be that I go to a hotel in Kanpur or in Lucknow and I get
The
exactly the
exact.
same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be
It
different.
has to be different. But how difficult it is to, manage, um, because this is an era of acquisition. This chain has 1,000 rooms and these has 2,000
Yeah, so
rooms,
to
and
stay true to yourself also is quite something in itself, really, with all these other things also popping up every now and then. You have to just hold your ground and realize where your roots are. And that's why people keep coming back. I mean, the food,
yeah.
it's actually food that was cooked in our homes, that the cooks from my mother-in-law's house, they teach the hotel staff, and that's how all like the main dishes are all like our home khana. Not that now now we've become very health conscious, but like it's your heritage in a way, and you're just you're taking that forward into the next
Right.
generation in a
So, is
way.
it also a different kind of traveler who comes and stays with you?
There are lots of different travel. Yeah, and so in Bhopal is now, I think, growing as a place to visit and see. Initially, when I first moved here, everyone had just thought of Bhopal as the place that had the gas tragedy. Nobody really knew on the map where Bhopal was. Like a lot of people in Bombay weren't aware of Bhopal being in central India or in MP, and it was always associated with the gas trap. But when I first came here, I mean, it was what a spectacular city. There's just like lakes everywhere. The monsoon is like stunning, is green. There are forests everywhere in MP. I mean, it's the main tiger hub in the country. There are guests coming in from all over the world to see the wildlife here. So there must be something good that's happening here. And yeah, so I feel like it keeps you centered in Bhopal. I got lost just now. My thought.
Absolutely, Bhopal does that to all of us. So when you started Rainy Pani, it was a concept that must have been it was much ahead of its times.
Yeah, yeah,
10 years ago, it is a concept of today which you brought 10 years ago. So
yeah.
how difficult was this? Tell us about those early days.
The early days was damn difficult. Like when Ali and me met and started date. This was when I was dating him. It had just started then. first of all, to forget about phone calls, that was very difficult. Unless I went and stayed there for a couple of months, then I got to hang out with him. Otherwise, like talking to him on the phone was also impossible because there was no
No
phone there.
phone.
But logistically, things have changed also so much. Like earlier, the saman used to all go from Bhopal
Yeah.
to the jungle, and it was a nightmare because every 2 days or 3 days you had to send supplies. But now with things changing, and like Sohagpur, the town which is close by to Madhai, that's now you buy vegetables there. Now you grow your own vegetables. The meat comes from a specific vendor. Everything has like changed so much over the last few years that the logistics are also a bit
Better.
easier now. The roads are fantastic now. The highways are brilliant, what they've done in the last couple of years. So I feel like it's easier now. It was really tough back then, and somehow they just managed to keep it growing, and with the service and being able to do those things in that jungle, people then wanted to keep coming back because that experience was something that you
What
don't
is
get
your
to
best memory
experience.
of Rainy Pani when it was coming up?
Uh, when I was first there, I think I was talking to one of the staff. Like, I think it was almost like ready to shut in summer or something, and all the staff were running around. We were just walking around and having a chat, and suddenly one of the boys from the kitchen screamed, "Madam, bhago!" So I turned around and there were three bears standing behind us. And so from that, there was an old gate there. From the old gate to the house, I ran full pelt with all the staff running into different rooms and stuff. Then the bears ran through the property, and bears are like, they're very dangerous when
Oh my
you
God.
find them on foot because they can't see properly, so they don't want to harm you, but because they can't see properly and they're scared, if they scratch you, your eye
You're
is going to
gone.
come out, because their nails are so they're that sharp, so you have to just be very. The jungle made me like taught me how to be aware of things. Even like a leopard, for example, we walked by a leopard. You're standing and you're watching a leopard that's, say, about 20 feet away. And that animal doesn't really want to attack you. He's very scared and he just darts into the bush. He's not interested. With a tiger, till now, I haven't had any experience on foot, thank
Thank
God.
God.
but leopards and bears, I've had plenty. And you just have to be aware of what you're doing. You have to realize that you are in their space. So you can't mess around. You have to run when you see a bear.
I think that makes you the first singer in the universe
Who's run from a bear?
who had bears chasing her.
That's quite funny, actually.
So, do you get sometimes, the kind of guests that you really don't want on your property
Oh my
all the time?
God. A lot of those guys, dude. Oh God. Some really not great guests, but, and then I'm the kind of person, I'm like, Ali, throw them out right now. And he's like, I can't do that, chef. But, yeah, I guess you come across so many different people in this industry, in the hospitality industry. Some people are nice, some people are not. Some people are great with the staff. Some people are so rude and mean to the staff. It's like, how can you be like that? These guys are like serving you everything you want in a
Absolutely.
place where it
There's
wouldn't even
nothing.
be possible. So, like, be kind, and be
I
happy.
think that is the biggest, I call it the thermometer of men. So, when they come to my room, everybody will be nice to me.
Yeah.
But if they've been rude to my receptionist or they've
Yeah.
been rude to my nurse,
It's a,
it just shows on my face
yeah,
that
yeah, for sure.
I'm not separate from them. It's all us. It's
Us,
all of
yeah,
us
it's,
together.
yeah, yeah. Like, I have never seen my husband Dato even one staff. One guy, the laundry guy, got a big dart once, but otherwise, I have never seen him. But speaking rudely to the staff, till today, I have never seen my husband speak rudely to any of our staff. Like, and these guys have been and you realize that from the staff have been with us since the lodge has opened, with very few leaving. So you realize someone's doing something right somewhere, you know. Either they love what they are doing, but you also have to have a great
I
boss,
think
you
it's
know.
also because it's not cookie cutter. There's a person that they are speaking to.
Yes.
That it's a family that they are loyal to. It's a
Yeah.
family that they're sure will take care of them.
Yeah.
Because I know some employees at the retreat, you know, the family has been with them through thick and thin.
Yeah, for
एंड यू नो
years.
दे हैव दैट कॉन्फिडेंस कि हम सोनिया मैडम को बताएंगे तो वो तो
Yeah.
हमारे चेहरे से ही समझ जाती है कि हमको क्या हो रहा है.
Yeah.
So you know that can never come from a
No,
corporation or
it
a
can't. It
chain because
can't. It
it's
can't.
they don't
Yeah,
know
lots
who.
of staff even approach, like one of our staff, one of the boys from Bori, one of our chefs, he came to me and he said, "Ma'am, one of the girls in housekeeping, I want to marry her, ma'am. Please give us your blessing." I was like, "Please get married. You don't have to ask me for permission. I mean, if you love her, you have to marry her." You know? And now his sister works and looks after my kids. She works in our house. So it's like a big family. Yeah. Even when I had my bachas and we were all living on the lodge premises, the staff looked up. They've seen my kids from the time they were crawling, you know. So it's like they have a thing to my children also, you know. Like it's a family. It's a
Absolutely, I
family.
remember we were staying at Rainy Pani and we were at the kitchen for I don't know why, and your son was playing with a small litter of puppies,
Yeah. Oh
and in the
God.
dust,
Yeah.
and nobody would have imagined कि
And then they tried to get the puppies home, and then I had to say that I'm
that's
done.
it.
That's not
That's
happening.
not a line that can be crossed.
So I have 2 dogs, and I have 2 kids, and I have a husband who's like the fifth baby. So
No more dogs.
no more dogs in the house.
While all of this is going on, you know, your life is unfolding in very interesting ways with bears chasing you.
Oh.
So, what did you do when Bollywood called you back? And then
I
again
ran back there.
You ran back there.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that in my time off, I went through so many ups and downs in my own mind because I didn't want to lose myself in becoming a mom. You know, you are a mother, but you are also Shefali. You're not just a mom now. Yes, you've taken on this other role as well, but you have to stay true to yourself also. And my way of communicating and expressing is through my music and through singing. Now, when that was shut, like when I got pregnant, also now because of the pressure on my lungs, my voice completely changed, and that I put on a lot of weight in my second pregnancy, and that I couldn't sing for a couple of months. Like from the fourth month till I had Azan, I couldn't sing, and that shattered me because I was feeling daba hua, ghutan, you know, like not able to express. Then after him, because I developed high BP during that pregnancy. It was a very complicated pregnancy. Then he came 1 month early, so I couldn't breastfeed him, and that was another trauma. That was like, why am I not able to feed him? And then the weight and like that the second time was very tough.
I think that happens more commonly than you may know because you know when you have the first baby and then you go on to have a second one, आपको वो कॉन्फिडेंस रहता है ये बिन देयर डन दैट अभी पहली बार ऐसा किया था पंप किया था अभी सब हो जाएगा इधर कॉन्सर्ट भी करती थी वो भी करती थी सब हो जाएगा
Nothing like that happened with the second one.
And the problem is that no two pregnancies are same.
I thought they'd be, but
No, they aren't.
but they weren't at all.
And when women come to me in their second pregnancy, I tell them that please just remember this is not going to be anything like your first time.
Yeah.
So don't have that and don't give me that every time. Pichli bar, it's not going to be like pichli bar.
That was like a hard lesson learned, you know. And with the second one, though, I struggled a lot for a couple of years because the weight just didn't go off, and then you start feeling lesser of yourself, you know. Then the not singing and my own decision to like stay at home and look after my kids and like get them to a level where they're able to fend for themselves. Now they're
safe,
old
yeah.
enough, you know, where you can leave them for a day or two, and it's not ki they need you as much as they needed you when they were babies, you know. So uh, that took a lot from me. I feel like I keep, sometimes I have regrets also. Like you keep thinking as a woman, did I make the right decision, or like I'm losing myself? Where am I in all this? I've like, who am I now? And I still want to go back to my music, and then you go back to it and it all becomes okay.
Yeah, because it's like the muse actually never left you.
Yeah.
So, how was that, coming back after the second baby?
Tougher, but it's happened. And I'm happy again. But I did go through a rough patch in my own self, you know.
But when you came back and then you realize that you are still the same. In fact, if anything, this has made you a better artist. It has made you a more mature person. Maybe
Yeah.
the same thing you would have rendered it differently 10
Yeah,
years ago,
yeah, yeah.
or looked at it,
Yeah,
or
different.
sung
Yeah,
it
yeah,
differently.
yeah. Yeah, it does change you. Life changes you. I think life is all about change only. Now, change is the only thing that happens constantly. So, like, I think you have to just take in all the experiences, and it makes you evolve and grow as a person.
So, being an artist it looks like that you're an artist, but there's a team behind you who supports you.
Yeah, of course.
So, now this team can be your biggest strength. Sometimes those same people who are supposed to, be there for you also end up maybe not being so helpful because
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I mean, I've had great management. I've had managers who've not been able to do anything. Then you get more lost in that. You know, you get stuck for a while. But it's life is a process. I mean, you have everybody in all fields of life. I feel like there are ups and downs, and that's what teaches you. And you have to keep going on. It teaches you to go on. You have to keep pushing through. You know.
And the one thing that probably you did not realize is that you are living maybe 3 or 4 lives together.
I haven't thought about it like
Now,
that, but maybe.
you are a very famous Bollywood singer.
Don't know about very
Your
famous,
mother
but
two very active and very sharp and very very nice kids.
crazy kids.
And you are also married into a family which is the Nawab family, and it comes with some
Yeah,
responsibilities, some kind of decorum, some kind of responsibility to the city that
yeah.
you are in. And you are into a business which takes everything from you. It's one of these roles and it's enough for one lifetime, and you're doing four together.
I don't know how.
So don't be very hard on yourself.
Okay.
You're doing really well.
I hope so. I'm trying.
What are the dreams that you still look forward to?
I still want to sing on a majorly bigger stage than what I'm doing right now. I want to have way more music out than than what's happening right now, and I just want to keep singing. Yeah. I want to be able to sing till my last breath. I think that's what makes me who I am. So
So,
it's my way of connecting with the universe in a way, you know, like everyone has their own ways of doing things and connect. Like for example, you are bringing life into this world. That's your way of connecting with the universe. For me, it's like when I sing and like there's a exchange of energy between me and the audience, and you know, you feed off your audience's energy when you're performing on stage. So there's so much things you can't, it's like magic, you can't see what you're doing, but it's touching someone somewhere, you know, and that's your way of communication, and that's your way of expressing your own art and yourself. So I feel like this is what I want
so
to
when
keep
you
doing.
stand in a concert and it's like maybe thousands of people, and because you are into mainstream Bollywood and really big hits, so the songs that people love, and when you perform them on stage, what is it like?
It's pretty wild because they know all your they know every lyrics, they know, they sing with you. It's like, it's that feeling, I just can't, I can't explain that feeling. It's It's the most amazing feeling in the world. I think any other singer will also realize what I'm saying because they must have felt it at some point. But just the fact that you, let's say after a show, after I sing, I can't sleep for hours because the adrenaline is so high. And when you sing to that a large number of people, there's so much of energy exchange that it's there's so much adrenaline in you. It's not you can't you're not you're tired, but you're not
You can't
tired.
sleep.
I can't sleep the next day. I always prefer to have a later flight because I can't sleep for at least 3-4 hours after performing because it's just impossible. You're on this high. It's like a nasha in a way, you know. You're on a crazy high and it's like a really good feeling.
So how different is it like singing in a studio? So when you are in a studio, we imagine that there'll be musicians all around and there'll be the two people who are singing a duet and they look into each other.
Nuh-uh.
Really?
Nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. When you're singing in when you're dubbing for a film, you're in the studio, the director's on the other side, and the track is already made, and you just have to sing the song. The other singer is called at a different time, and he
But then how
sings
do
it
you manage to
separately.
put in all those emotions that the song is supposed to?
So sometimes, so I guess, yeah. So the brief, they give you a brief before you do the takes, and also sometimes the video, you know,
Yeah.
they show you what you're singing to, so then you are able to emote to it better, where you know what's happening in the background. Otherwise, initially it wasn't like that, but the more recent stuff has been, you know that what you're performing to, and you can see how it's going to look on screen.
I think also a good singer has maybe two parts. One part is the technical part, you get your notes right,
Yeah,
you get your tal right.
yeah.
But I think the bigger part, which appeals here, not here, to all of us who don't know music, is that emotion that you bring into, and that's only possible for somebody who's very sensitive, who's able to feel. So if I tell you that this is the song and you are able to feel
Feel
that,
that and sing it.
and more than that, you are able to make me feel that.
That, yeah.
So you know, you
But
you
that's
hear.
music for you. It's all about a
Absolutely.
feeling.
It is something, Uh, so somebody who is totally musically illiterate and I listen to that song, oh Gujaria,
It puts an
and it
emotion
brings me back to
somewhere.
that year, and
Yeah.
it makes me feel that Priya of 2017 or
Yeah.
18, whatever
Yeah, it
is
takes you
back.
back in time.
Yeah.
Like all music, it takes you back in time. There are memories attached to certain songs. This is what music does. I think it touches people's hearts. So,
So off late, the songs that go viral, they're those 1 minute clips which everybody is making reels on.
yeah.
So you need to have that hook kind of thing in the music. So is that now what people are looking for? कि वो 1 minute का track
Yeah,
होना
I
कि जो
think
viral
it's
जाएगा.
this viral thing has just changed all these
Everything.
social media things. They've just changed the whole. Sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture also, and if it's a good song, you got to believe it and just do it. But these by this is a bit, it's a
And
gray area for
also
me.
what happens is that a song is like a story. So you may वो hook से आप attract तो हो गए, but it's
But
going to
what's happening
unfold.
before and
Yeah,
after,
it's going to unfold, and it's in the para 3 that author or the person is going to lay their hearts open, and
Yeah.
you've never reached there, sadly.
Yeah, because it's done in a minute.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just
there
like
are a
this
lot of
podcast, if they just look at the clip and they never reach this part, it's going to be a
yeah.
pity. So
Yeah, you're right. It's all about this new age of everything needing to be viral, I suppose. But it's a gray area for me. I don't know whether I'm into it or not into it.
I think what happens is that all of us then adapt to trends. So, you
Yeah.
still show reels, but you still have people who go in for long content because people need different things at different times.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm also like thinking of how do you reach a bigger audience? What sort of reel do you shoot? I've never been the kind to like act or, you know, it's just this is who I am. Up now, I'm putting myself out there. This is who I am. I can't like pretend to be someone I'm not. So now whether people find that content exciting or boring or like regular life. I don't know.
I think it's a very regular life that you're leading, you know. I still, even after talking to you for half an hour, I cannot wrap my head around
Half the
that how
things
can you
that
go
I've
from the
done.
jungle to the palace to
Oh,
Bollywood and then all over again. I really don't know.
even I don't know.
But you know, I can't wrap this up without asking this one last thing, you know. In Mumbai, everybody lives with their parents, uh, cozy houses. You have cousins and all, but they come visiting. And now here you are living in a very big family. Everybody is, of course, doing their own thing, but they're all together.
Yeah.
How difficult is it, and what's the easy part, and what's the difficult part?
So it's not so difficult because even though we all live in like a koti, but we all live in separate homes. So for me, that was I told Ali when we were getting married that we need to have our own space. We need to have our own lives. And yeah, of course, like family, we all meet on Sundays for lunch. But through the week, everyone's doing their
Doing
own
their own
thing. Like
things.
I do my own thing. My husband is working through the week. The kids are in school. We live in our own home. Of course, I go in and out of my mom-in-law's house and meet her on and off, or Puppy, or whoever. But we live very close to each other. But everybody's doing their own thing, and that, I think that's the most important thing. You need to have your own space so that you continue being happy throughout your life. That's what I was in. I grew up in a nuclear family in Bombay. My parents and it was my parents and us. There was no living in. There was no living with your cousins or my grandparents
Right.
passed away when I was really young, so there were no grandparents also. So it was just my mom, dad, and my sister and me. So I grew up like that. So I wanted my kids also to have that freedom with their parent, like with us, that I had with my parents. So I feel like we made a conscious decision to have our own home so that you bring up your kids as a nuclear family, and of course you have the support of your
Yeah.
extended family when you need them. When we travel sometimes, now I try to do that less. Like if I'm out of town, then Ali's with the kids, or if Ali's traveling, like he's going to England, I'm going to be at home for the next 2 weeks with our children. So there's not a point of time where they're like left on their own. Even when I do my shows and all, he's
There with the kids.
there, or if he's traveling for something else, I'm there. Or if at all by any chance both of us have to be out together, then my parents come from Bombay, or they move into my mother-in-law's home if she's around. So there's that support. You always want that support, and they're there, but you have to also learn to stand on your own 2 feet. I
Absolutely.
feel like that everyone has to
And
realize.
the kind of careers both of you have, I think Ali leads those
Trip, he's
safaris
out,
into
yeah. Yeah,
very
and he's like, he leads trips in Africa and Brazil, and he's also traveling a lot in Ladakh, and so he's also doing multiple things. So with all that, we still try to, one of us should be at home with the kids. They have.
What do you disagree about most, both of you?
Okay, off late, the only thing you can't hear that, but the only thing we disagree on is bringing up our daughter. She's going through a rough patch right now, but she better not see this anywhere. But disagree on, I don't know. We don't disagree on many things. I think he's he's shown me a different side of life, and I really respect that. I respect him in that. Um, Growing up in Bombay, you didn't get to see so much nature, and you didn't get to spend so much quiet time. The city is like
Yeah.
buzzing from. There's no sleep. That city doesn't sleep at all. Even in the night, there's like noise in Bombay. So, I feel like Ali made me experience a different side of life, which I probably would have never experienced if I had continued living in Mumbai. So I'm grateful that I have this now.
Absolutely. Uh, in the end, you know, I always feel that a successful career, it's not like a sprint or a 100-meter race that, you know, get up, get yourself pumped up, and then
Yeah,
you race and you finish it.
yeah,
You finish it first, and
yeah.
you are cutting that line. It's like a marathon, you know. In a marathon, you know that there's a good 42 kilometers that you have to run So you make sure that you stop at the aid stations,
Yeah.
you hydrate yourself,
Yeah.
you pace yourself. So I think that's what you have done in your career and in your life. You've paced yourself. And you are what you call as a lambi race ka ghoda. So now, once your kids are older, even if you dedicate 24 hours to your profession, you will not mind it.
Yeah.
And neither will your children, because you kept Shefali alive. You brought them up
Yeah.
to be well-rounded individuals.
Yeah.
And now you are on your own. You'll get much more time, when now in the years to come, for
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah, I'm
for all
sure.
your
Yeah.
dreams. And you would have done that without sacrificing your family life, without sacrificing your children's safety, and without sacrificing nourishing that muse, that keeps you alive.
Yeah.
So I think you are really a role model for all the
Oh
women out there.
God, I don't think so. But
I think so, because it's not easy to balance your marriage, it's not easy to balance your career, and it's the toughest to balance your family life.
yeah, it is tough. It's not easy at all. I feel like even a mom who's a stay-at-home mom, there's never a day off. There's never a day off in motherhood. Let's say,
Yeah.
if you've had a child, there's no off day for you. Like throughout your life, there's no off
Throughout
day.
your life, so you live your life. I was telling my son, who's all of 24-year-old,
Yeah.
that I had you in 2001, in 2003. He's gonna turn 24 this year, and I still feel postpartum. I still feel like a dog attached to a chain. You can only go that far and come back. And you can,
Yeah, I also
never
feel like
stop
that,
worrying.
man. Yeah.
So when my patients see that positive pregnancy test and they feel very happy, I tell them that, now is the
Wait.
start of the headache for your
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
life.
First, enjoy this. Even when my friends tell me I'm pregnant, I'm like, just enjoy the next 9 months, darling. It's gonna change after that.
So in the
Yeah,
end, you
yeah,
should give at least not one, but 2 or 3 messages to all the women and men out there who are listening to us.
yeah. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Have many babies. But yeah, I mean, as a woman, you have to. There's so many things that happen to you in your life, and you take on so many responsibilities and different roles, and sometimes it's tough and sometimes it's easy, but you need to have support through it all. So make sure that you support yourself, or you have like the right support to take you through this. Otherwise it gets lonely along the way.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun
Yeah,
having you,
thank
and I
you.
think we've barely scratched the
Yeah,
surface.
I'm
I
sure
think
we
we
can
have to sit
talk like
again.
one more time.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sure all of you enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed. And Shefali was all that I expected, and she was much, much more than what I expected. I think in her story is something which is so unique and so important to all the women out there. Preserving yourself and yet giving so much of yourself to your family, your kids, your marriage, your work. I think that is what makes her unique, and that's what makes her the best choice for a Her Health Talks episode. Thank you so much.